he would.
No, no, no.
Good evening, everybody. You're very welcome to the reenactment of the 1916 Easter Rising, the dawning of the day. First of all, could I ask everyone to turn off your phones or put them on silent, please? And secondly, during the pageant, there will be some loud pyrotechnics and gunfire. There is no need to be concerned. So all that's left for me to say is just relax and enjoy Derry's contribution to the 1916 Rising. history of Ireland is strewn with rebellion and revolution against the uninvited, unwanted, and enforced occupation by the English crown. For centuries, Ireland has sought to break the connection to England and establish an Irish republic. Each time, the Irish attempts for freedom were crushed by the might of the British Empire. The 1916 Easter Rising was yet another strike for nationhood and independence.
With war raging in Europe, England's difficulty was seen as Ireland's opportunity. Despite a series of setbacks, including the shipment of arms being caught off the coast of Kerry, and Owen McNeill cancelling a mobilisation of volunteers for Easter Sunday, the IRB and the Military Council decided to proceed with the Easter Rising the next day. And so, on Monday the 24th of April 1916, the Rising began.
The leaders of the Easter Rising were a disparate collection of scholars, writers, poets, teachers, titled aristocrats, trade union leaders, university graduates, and the working class who had one common aim: to end British rule in Ireland and obtain an Irish republic. So, at 12 minutes past 10, they took over the GPO, thereby signalling the start of the rising.
Strategic buildings and locations were seized, including St Stephen's Green under the command of Michael Mallon and Countess Martinovich, Jacob's Biscuit Factory under the command of Thomas McDonough, Boland's Mill under the command of Eamon de Valera, South Dublin Union under the command of Eamon Cant, the Four Courts under the command of Ned Daly, and the Mendicity Institution under the command of Sean Houston. The GPO was under the command of Pádraig Pearse.
to the people of Ireland, Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and gallant followers in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland, to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted that right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they've asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world. We hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state. We pledge our lives and the lives of the comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to, and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities for all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole of the nation and of all its parts, cherishing all of the children of the nation equally, and oblivious to the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority from a majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment of the establishment of the permanent national government, representative of the whole of the people of Ireland, and elected by its suffrages for all her men and women, the provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we evoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves her will dishonor it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valor and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonough, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Cant, James Connolly, and Joseph Plunkett.
Not everyone was in support of the rising, and some women whose husbands were fighting for the British in France feared that the British would throw their men out of the army, thereby cutting off their only source of income to feed their families.
Flyers! Fresh flyers! Flyers! Fresh flyers!
Jesus, is he at it again?
Sure, he never shuts up. Here, mister, we've suffered enough. Would you ever give over?
How are you, Kathleen?
Hang on together, marry yourself.
Oh, what's the same, sure, but who cares?
Here, Lily, what has you out and about today?
Oh, Jesus, Kathleen, I'm exhausted. And they're not a decent bite to eat in this city. And I'll tell you, I don't know what he put on the night for the dinner.
Well, thank God for the money's coming from the army, for the little food we have here, and the price of it.
Aye, but need a square mouse shovel to feed that lot of mine.
Oh, my feet are killing me. I just be glad to get home this day.
Hey, you, have you got no homes to go to?
Young ones today, run a race quick as they'd look at you.
Flyers, fresh flyers.
A cup of butter with the bakey piggy. Who's going to afford to buy flyers? We've little enough money as it is.
Business is bad, right enough.
Aye, I would say Patricia's kept in business, mind ye. Aren't you, Patricia?
Sure, there's not a man to be seen. They're all away out at the front. And I'm missing your Dermot. When you tell him, when you see him, that I was asking for him.
How dare you, my Dermot's a saint.
Oh, would you please prepare ye? What's all the carry on? What's going on?
Here, son.
right, Nelly. This pissing on but a hive.
Here, son, what's happening?
They're rising. Where'd they go?
The what?
They're rising.
I wasn't listening to that old boy singing over there. You could hear nothing.
Well, there's a young fella. Ask him.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. What's going on? Are those guns?
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh,
The leaders have called us for action. Today is the day we take up arms against the British and claim an Irish Republic.
Against the British?
Come here. My husband's away out fighting for them. And they put money in my pocket and food in the table.
Are you right, Gilly? I'm bloody thankful we are for what money
You're
we
right,
send
Dad.
home. And then you want to get rid of the ones that's putting food in their table. Away out of my sight.
But you don't understand. We're fighting for Irish freedom here.
Oh, is that right? Well, come here, I want you a wee minute. Now, I need you to tell me something. Are you going to get our men the sack?
Kathleen, I really didn't think of that. That's it. Here, they're going to be bitted out of the army, and then we'll get nothing.
A rising. Are you going to pay my rent every week? Are you going to keep a roof over all our heads?
Here, if it's a fight you want, boyo, you may take yourself off to France with the rest of the men and send your money back.
You're nothing but a yellow coward.
You're some soldier, aren't you? Run away on home with you and give us peace.
But, Mrs., we're fighting to end British oppression. Can you not see that?
Oppression? Jesus, boy, I'll oppress you if I get my hands on you. Come on.
Jesus, if I get my hands in you, me put for no reason.
Oh, I wouldn't be bothered with that. I'll carry on.
Fucking, will you get off? Quick. That monkey. Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Jesus, quick!
Who's got them little hats? Just hold it.
Very soon, the rebels were engaged with the British forces all over the city. After early successes, the sheer volume of British troops and their superior firepower, including the gunboat Helga, made it clear that a military success would not be possible. Rising was destined to become more a symbolic blood sacrifice for nationhood than a military victory. The rising lasted for 6 days, as the British mercilessly shelled their stations and the city, causing massive civilian casualties. Porrick Pierce and the other leaders agreed to surrender in order to save further civilian lives. Accompanied by Nurse Farrell, a member of Cumann na mBan, who fought in the GPO, they carried the terms of his surrender under a white flag to the British. Porrick Pierce formally surrendered by handing over his weapons. The Easter Rising was over.
Commandant Pierce has ordered a full surrender of all positions.
British lost no time in administering their form of justice under martial law, which was swift and unaccountable.
I don't want to get on before Connolly.
This is the prisoner, Thomas Clark. You are charged with taking part in armed rebellion with the intention and for the purpose of assisting the enemy. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
I saw Clark as a person in authority. Although he had no uniform on, I have no doubt that he is a rebel.
This court has found you guilty as charged, sentenced you to death by being shot.
I and my fellow signatories believe we have struck the first successful blow for freedom. The next blow, which we have no doubt Ireland will strike, will win through. In this belief, we die happy. Signed, Thomas J. Clark.
This is the prisoner, Thomas McDonough.
You are charged with taking part in armed rebellion with intention and for the purpose of assisting the enemy. Do you have anything to say in your defense? This court has found you guilty as charged and sentences you to death by being shot.
In the game.
I, Thomas McDonough, having now learned the sentence of the court-martial held on me today, declare that in all my acts, all the acts for which I have been arraigned, I have been actuated by one motive only, the love of my country, the desire to make her a sovereign, independent state. I am to die at dawn, 3:30 a.m. the 3rd of May. I am ready to die, and I thank God that I die in so holy a cause. My country will reward my deed richly. To my son Dawn, darling little boy, remember me kindly. Take my hope and purpose with my deed. For your sake and for the sake of your beloved mother and sister, I would wish to live long, but you will recognize the thing I have done and see this as a consequence. I think still I have done a great thing for Ireland, and with the defeat of her army, won the first step of her freedom. God bless you, my son. My darling Barbara, God bless you. I loved you more than ever a child has been loved. My dearest Muriel, thank you a million times for all you have been to me. I have only one trouble in leaving life, leaving you so. Be brave, darling. God will assist and bless you. Goodbye. Kiss my darlings for me. I send you a few things I have saved out of this war. Goodbye, my love, till we meet again in heaven. I have a sure faith of our union there. I kiss this paper that goes to you. I have just heard that they have not been able to reach you. Perhaps it is better so. Yet Father Aloysius and I are going to make another effort to do something. God help and sustain you, my love. But for your suffering, this world would be all of joy. Goodbye. Your loving husband, Thomas McDonough.
I'm next. You're next? Yeah.
This is the prisoner, Patrick Pearce.
You are charged with taking part in an armed rebellion and in the waging of war against His Majesty the King. Such act is to be calculated to be prejudicial to the defence of the realm, and being done with the intention and for the purpose of assisting the enemy. Do you have anything to say in your defence?
My object in agreeing to an unconditional surrender was to prevent the further slaughter of the civil population of Dublin and to save the lives of our gallant followers who, having made for 6 days a stand unparalleled in military history, we seem to have lost. We've not lost. To refuse to fight would be to lose. The fight is to win. We've kept the faith with the past and handed on a tradition to the future. You cannot conquer Ireland. You cannot extinguish the Irish passion for freedom. If our deed has not been sufficient to win freedom, then our children will win it by a better deed.
This court has found you guilty as charged and sentenced you to death by being shot.
Dear mother, all here are safe and well. Willie and all the St. Dennis boys are here. I've not seen them since Saturday, but I believe they are all well, and they are now not in any danger. Our hope and belief is that the government will spare the lives of the followers, but we do not believe they will spare the lives of the leaders. We are ready to die, and we shall die cheerfully and proudly.
I do not grudge them, Lord. I do not grudge my 2 strong sons that I have seen go out to break their strength and die. They and a few in bloody protest for a glorious thing. They shall be spoken of among their people. The generation shall remember them and call them blessed. But I will speak their names to my own heart in the long nights, the little names that were familiar once round my dead hearth. Lord, Thou art hard on mothers. We suffer in their coming and their going. And though I grudge them not, I weary of the long sorrow, and yet I have my joy. My sons were faithful and they fought.
You must not grieve for all this. We have preserved Ireland's honour and our own. Our deeds of last week are the most splendid in Ireland's history. People will say hard things of us now, but we will be remembered by prosperity and blessed by the unborn generations. You too will be blessed because you were my mother. Love, P.
Dear Mary, that didst thou see the firstborn son go forth to die amid the scorn of men for whom he died, receive my firstborn son into thy arms, who has also gone out to die for men, and keep him by thee till I come to him. Oh, dear Mary, I have shared thy sorrow, and soon shall share thy joy.
Dear old Willie, goodbye and God bless you for all your work at St. Denda's and elsewhere. No one can ever have had such a true brother as you. P.
Fall in! Make ready! Present!
Plunkett next. No, that was Pierce.
This is the prisoner, Joseph Plunkett.
You're charged with taking part in armed rebellion with intention and for the purpose of assisting the enemy. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Sergeant John Bruton, Dublin Metropolitan Police. I know the prisoner, Joseph Plunkett. The headquarters of the Irish Volunteer Movement are at number 2 Dawson Street. I have seen him on 2 occasions entering and leaving number 2 Dawson Street, wearing, as well as I could tell, the uniform of the Irish Volunteers. His name appears on the proclamation issued by the volunteers, and I believe him to be a member of the Executive Council for that body.
I have nothing to say in my defence, but the proclamation referred to in Sergeant Bruton's evidence is signed by persons who are not connected with the Irish Volunteers, and the proclamation was not issued by the Irish Volunteers.
This court has found you guilty as charged, sentences you to death by being shot.
Already gravely ill, Plunkett was engaged to his childhood sweetheart, Grace Gifford, who also took part in the rising. On the night of the 3rd of May 1916, Father McCarthy conducted their wedding ceremony.
Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye.
Fall in!
He was executed a few hours later on the 4th of May 1916.
Aranya Mochri, na eintiger fos mudjanu in sin prison lia shaw. Last man nar hannig me day, mar black gal na balchina, off the ear, is garage or sail a chela. Scar as the chela, shin tiv here den doors ud. Is gar gunyartfer and full air and rosh, nar a sculchin and pillar mucht. Och Mochri, na bio oglort, feki me hu tiv here den vas. Ni he Shaw and Jerry, Shaw and Ahiri, Be Sir Shogin, Be Sirsha Agarin, Slana Grania.
Make ready!
Na shield Jora more of Roner Mahon.
Present!
Be me a lahar J.
Fire!
Along with Joseph Mary Plunkett, 3 others, Michael O'Hanrahan, Edward Daly, and William Pearce, brother of Pádraig Pearce, were executed on the 4th of May 1916.
This is the prisoner, Eamon Kent.
You are charged with taking part in armed rebellion with the intention and for the purpose of assisting the enemy. Do you have anything to say in your defense? This court has found you guilty as charged and sentenced you to death by being shot.
My dearest wife, Anya, not wife but widow. Before these lines reach you, I am here without hope of this world and without fear, calmly awaiting the end. I have had Holy Communion and Father Augustine has been with me and will be back again. I die a noble death for Ireland's freedom. Men and women will vie with one another to shake your dear hand. Be proud of me, as I am and ever was of you. My cold exterior was but a mask. It has saved me in these last days. You have a duty to me and to Ronan, that is to live. You will be, you are, the wife of one of the leaders of the revolution. I remember all and I banish all that I may be strong and die bravely. I have 1 hour to live. Then God's judgment and through his infinite mercy, a place near your poor granny and my mother and father and Jem and all his fine old Catholics who went through the scourge of similar misfortune from this vale of tears into the promised land. Adieu. Amen.
Raymond Cant, 3 others, Michael Mallon, Count Colbert, and Sean Houston, were executed on 8th of May 1916.
This is the prisoner, John McDermott.
You're charged with taking part in armed rebellion and inciting disaffection among the civilian population of His Majesty. Do you have anything to say in your defence?
Not guilty.
This court has found you guilty as charged and sentenced you to death by being shot.
I, Sean McDermott, before paying the penalty of death for my love of Ireland and abhorrence of her slavery, desire to make known to all my fellow countrymen that I die as I have lived, bearing no malice to any man, and in perfect peace with Almighty God. The principles for which I give my life are so sacred that I now walk to my death in the most calm and collected manner. I meet death for Ireland's cause as I have worked for the same cause all my life. I have asked the Reverend E. McCarthy, who has prepared to meet me my God, who has given me my courage to face the ordeal I am about to undergo, to convey my message to my fellow countrymen. God save Ireland.
Due to a serious wound he had obtained during the Rising, Connolly was tried in the hospital wing at Dublin Castle. 2 doctors stated that he was fit for trial and described his mental state as unimpaired.
This is the prisoner, James Connolly.
You are charged with taking part in the rebellion and of inciting disaffection among the civilian population of His Majesty. Do you have anything to say in your defence?
We were out to establish an Irish Republic. We succeeded in proving that Irishmen are willing to die in their endeavour to win for Ireland their national rights, as the British government has been asking them to do, to die for, to win for Belgium. As long as that is the case, the cause of Irish freedom is safe. Believing that the British government have no right in Ireland, never had any right in Ireland, and the presence in any one generation of even a respectable minority of Irishmen willing to die to affirm that right, makes this government forever a usurpation and a crime against human progress. I thank God that I have lived to see the day when thousands of Irish men and boys and hundreds of women and girls are equally ready to affirm that right and seal it with their lives if necessary.
This court has found you guilty of the primary charge as charged and sentences you to death by being shot. On the secondary alternative charge, you are acquitted. I think so, yes. I think we should be able to go for tea.
Trina is while we're crook. Being fargan na tonta jarga isn't spare na full. Be gachlan slave or fod Aaron is muncha cree. Lag, Solanaki, Marashin do.
Make ready! Present! Fire!
The chronology of the executions of the 14 Irish patriots executed in Dublin and the 2 outside of Dublin after the Easter Rising was as follows. 3rd of May, Pádraig Pearse, Thomas Clark and Thomas McDonagh. 4th of May, Joseph Mary Plunkett, Michael O'Hanrahan, Edward Daly and William Pearse, brother of Pádraig Pearse. 5th of May, John McBride.
For what died the sons of Roisin? Was it fame? For what died the sons of Roisin? Was it fame? For what flowed Ireland's blood in rivers that began when Brian chased the Dane and did not cease, nor has not ceased with the brave sons of 16? For what died the sons of Roisin? Was it fame?
Eighth of May, Eamon Cant, Michael Mallon, Con Colbert and Sean Houston. 9th of May, Thomas Kent was executed in Cork Detention Barracks. 12th of May, Sean McDermott and James Connolly. 3rd of August, Sir Roger Casement was hanged in Pentonville Prison.
For what died the sons of Roisin? Was it greed? For what died the sons of Roisin? Was it greed? Was it greed that drove Wolfe Tone to a pauper's death in a cell of cold, wet stone? Will German, French or Dutch inscribe the epitaph of Emmet when we have sold enough of Ireland to be strangers in it? For what died the sons of Roisin? Was it greed? The ideals and demands of the leaders of the Easter Rising remain unfulfilled, with our 4th green field yet to be freed from British control. Republicans continue to argue and pursue the noble and righteous cause for nationhood. Although the Republic has not yet achieved Irishness, and Irish culture will never be extinguished, and our culture in all its forms remain alive and well in its thriving throughout the country. Whether it's in our national sports of hurling and football, music and song, language and literature, or dancing, our culture is strengthening all the time and complements the ideals and the aspirations of the leaders of the Rising.
The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities for all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts. cherishing all of the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government, which have divided a minority from a majority in the past.
The honourable sentiment and vision of Pearse when he wrote the proclamation threatens no one, offering equality and fairness to all, irrespective of creed or colour. It is as relevant today as it was a century ago. Republicans are looking forward to the end of the long wait for the 32-county republic, when all the people of Ireland unite and finally take control of the nation's destiny without foreign influence at the dawning of the day.